P.U. This isn't it. Oh God, it's unholy. I don't know how I got lost all of a sudden, but why was I making that weird noise? Oh wait. Anyway, welcome. This is the Justin Zone's season finale of season 2. Welcome.
Justin Zone! If you're feeling down, you don't have to feel alone. Just get on the internet, go to the Justin Zone. He's the best friend that you have ever known. Yes, boys and girls, it's time for the Justin Zone. Throw your brain out the window and enter the unknown. Don't adjust your screen, you're in the Justin Zone. Throw your brain out the window, forget what you've known. Don't adjust the screen, you're in the Justin Zone. You're in the Justin Zone. You're in the Justin Zone. Oh God, oh God, we're in the Justin Zone. We're in the Justin Zone. We're in the Justin Zone. We're in the Justin Zone.
Well, hello everybody. Man, can you believe it's already been 2 seasons? I mean, the Justin Zone's come and gone, and we've had laughs, we've had weirdism, but the weirdest thing has happened is the book I ran into this today. I don't know, it always referred to as Twilight, the very, very gay edition. But why would that be unholy? Can't be any unholier than, say, the Necronomicon, the Book of the Dead. Speaking of which, I mean, obviously they give away what today's movie is. We're talking about the Evil Dead Trilogy. Now, I know I can't fit all of this into one epic trilogy, or an epic episode, so we're splitting this up into 2. Let's start out with the Evil Dead itself. Now, obviously, this series itself has become not just, it took years, or at least a couple years for this to really hit fans, but not only did you spawn, 3 movies, plus a remake. It's a remake, it's a reimagining. It's hard to say what it is. Some people see it as a sequel, some people, but it's its own movie. Anyway, now this comes from the brilliant mind of Sam Ramin. Either way, he is not just known for that. He has also done Darkman. He did Spider-Man Trilogy. He's also did the movie Oz the Great and Powerful. I think I said that title right. Either way, he's known for doing his own movies too. And it's be surprised you never knew he did certain movies. Anyway, what made this movie just a big phenomenon for itself was just the idea of how it got started. It's like every other B movie, like Halloween, and Halloween itself was also considered a B movie, and Night of the Living Dead. It was all about how it got started. So let's start with small amount here. Let's start with the now Sam Ramin and Bruce Campbell knew each other at a young age. So they started getting together, and they did actually do a couple short films together. They did a couple short films together, and then they had an idea for this one. And Sam had gotten this idea from H.P. Lovecraft's his take on the Necronomicon. Now, the Book of the Dead has gone out for years of being the text. Is there an actual book that exists like that? No one really knows. But it was a book that tells people about the world, that we can summon up demons or resurrect the dead sort of stuff, like it was all premised in the Mummy movies. What was interesting about this is he got this idea from H.P. Lovecraft, because H.P. Lovecraft wrote a lot of stories about the idea of alternate dimensions, demigods, demons, stuff like that. So, anyway, to make this short matter story, he made this short film called Within the Woods, which was basically the idea behind Evil Dead. Well, he used this short film as a way of trying to get people to promote. They were able to secure some funds, but they still needed more. Well, Bruce Campbell then came to casting. Well, they had to go out and look. They actually put an ad in the local paper trying to get people. Now, when it came to filming, they needed a location. Well, they found this old run-down cabin in the woods. And that's where they decided to shoot all this. They needed all this. I mean, it's really low-key how you notice that some of my ideas is the best films are the ones that you don't need all those special effects. You don't need this. You don't need that. So, but Evil Dead, like the story tells about this group of teenagers, obviously, well, that's a bad sign in itself. You never go in the cabin in the middle of the woods. But they go down to the cabin, and the next thing they realize is something weird's going on. But they come across this book, this unholy book that nobody knows. This book that is all unholy and evil. And, well, of course, they find a tape recorder of the professor who supposedly was translating this book. Well, he tells about that there's an evil in the woods. Ooh, yeah, it was very foggy out there, and I don't know, it's kind of feeling evil now. I mean, I kind of read a couple pages of this book. I mean, come on. That can't summon up demon? No. Yeah. Paperbag Hunking, I think we unleashed something holy. You read from the book. I told you Twilight sucked. Hey, now that's not fair. You think for 2 seasons that you and I would get our act together. Yeah, well, you're the one who's always dragging me off to God knows where. You dragged me out the middle of the Antarctic or the cold weather. We ran into that thing. I almost became a thing. Well, that's not my fault. But don't also forget, Justin, you also took us out to Camp Crystal Lake. We almost all died. If it wasn't for Rachel, we would have all died. Yes, I know. She saved us all. Thank God. Anyway, Paperbag Hunking, you're a puppet. You guys get to live. If something ever happens to me, I'm done. You'll just rot in the garbage. How did you like that? Well, I didn't like that very much. Be nice. Alright, fine. Anyway, so the story tells, well, as the story goes on, certain weird stuff starts happening. She hears, the sister of Bruce Campbell's character, Ash, hears weird voices, so she goes out to investigate. You should know by now you don't go out to investigate what is going on. You never go out. Has anybody ever learned anything from movies? You never, ever do that. Well, they do that. Next thing you know, all heck breaks loose because she gets raped by a demonic tree. Yes, I said rape. Man, even trees get lucky in horror movies. That is weird. Well, the weird thing starts out when they bring her back. That's when things really pick up pace because she starts acting weird. Because then she turns into a demon! But, anyway, this movie, as I said, I don't want to give too much away because I want people to really enjoy it. There's more that goes on in the movie, as the movie goes on. If you've never seen this movie, you've got to see it. See it in its entirety. You need to see it at its finest. I mean, this is probably one of my favorite, trilogies ever. And yes, I do say trilogy, but if you've never seen it, please take the chance and actually see it. Great movie. There's nothing wrong. This movie just defies what true art can be. I mean, he finally got enough money to do the sequel and the 2 sequels. Now, of course, then I'm not going to I'm not going to talk anymore about the 2 because they will be in the next part 2. But anyway, let's, as it says, okay, Hunking, it's getting really weird out there. I keep hearing voices, like someone telling me, all I read was a couple of lines. Balaktu, Zatu, Edward sucks, Bella sucks, even the stupid wolf guy. That's all I read, I swear to God. Well, no, you're gone and done it. Now we're screwed. We are not screwed. We're gonna be fine. We are gonna be fine, If he says we're gonna be fine, but I think we're still screwed. Oh, thanks. The season's almost over. Come on, we can get through this. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Hold me, puppet. Oh, I'm telling you, some weird stuff is good. Anyway, well, in conclusion, for this episode, I think we're not alone in here. Who's there? Well, we better go investigate. To be continued. Hello fans, if you haven't seen it, I'm Paperbag Hunking. I don't know where Justin went. He went off into the woods. That was a big mistake. He left me here by myself. I'm worried about what's going to happen. But anyway, if you're a big fan of the Justin Zone, please go onto my Facebook page, or go onto Justin Zone's Facebook page, which is a direct link into his YouTube. You'll find that he posts up all his stuff. Anyway, not really the same, but this is a useless spoof at the end, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, Justin, are you back?